Dear Diary, it's Grace. There's something I need to admit. Something I've never told anyone before. I used to think pain was my worst enemy. The crying, the aching, the breaking down in the middle of the night. All of it. But then something happened that scared me even more. The pain stopped. And no, that wasn't healing. That was numbness. And sometimes, diary, numbness feels safer than pain. But the longer I sat in it, the more I realized it's not safety. It's a slow kind of dying. I can remember the moment it shifted. It wasn't dramatic. There wasn't some explosion or big confrontation. It was just nothing. One night, I laid in bed, waiting for the tears that always came. I had cried myself to sleep so many times that the tears had become part of my routine. But that night, they didn't come. My pillow stayed dry. My chest didn't heave. My whispers to God, they didn't even leave my lips. I just stared into the dark. And that was it. And part of me thought, finally, relief. You more breaking down. No more sobbing until my body ached. No more prayers that went unanswered. Just silence. But silence has a way of echoing louder than screams. At first, numbness felt like freedom. I didn't feel the sting of rejection anymore. I didn't feel the weight of disappointment. I didn't feel the pain of remembering everything I had lost. And it felt safe. But diary, here's the truth I didn't say out loud. Numbness is a liar. It convinced me I was okay because I wasn't falling apart anymore. It convinced me I was stronger because I didn't cry. But I wasn't strong. I was empty. And emptiness is not strength. I went through my days like a ghost. Waking up, cooking meals, going to work, smiling when people asked how I was, laughing in all the right places. And every night I'd come home and collapse into bed, not from exhaustion, but from the weight of pretending. People looked at me and said, "She's doing better." But they didn't know. They didn't know that on the inside, I had disappeared. I wasn't living anymore. I was existing. And the scariest part? I almost convinced myself that existing was enough. Dear Diary, I need to be honest about why numbness felt safer. Because if I didn't hope, I couldn't be disappointed again. If I didn't love too deeply, I couldn't be left again. If I didn't pray too hard, I wouldn't have to sit in the silence when God didn't answer the way I wanted him to. Numbness told me, if you don't feel, you can't break. And I believed it. And afterward, I went home and thought, is this what my life has become? Just acting? Just showing up physically while my soul stays missing? That was numbness. That was the cage I was in. And I thought it was safer than pain, but it was killing me. Slowly. There's another layer to this, and it's hard to admit. But numbness didn't just protect me from people. It protected me from God. Because if I didn't expect him to move, I couldn't be disappointed. If I didn't pray big prayers, I didn't have to sit in silence when nothing seemed to change. So I stopped asking. I stopped hoping. I stopped reaching out. And I convinced myself it was maturity, like I had grown past needing too much. But that was a lie. It wasn't maturity. It was fear dressed up as wisdom. And deep down, I think I knew it. Because when the numbness got quiet enough, I could still hear him. That whisper, Grace, I'm still here. And it scared me because I didn't want to feel again. Feeling meant hurting again. But here's the thing, diary. I'm starting to realize that numbness isn't peace. It's a counterfeit. And as much as it felt safer, it wasn't where I was meant to stay. Dear diary, Tonight, I'm admitting something I've been too afraid to say. Numbness was never safety. It was surrender. Not the kind that heals, but the kind that hides. And maybe the first step back to life isn't jumping into joy. Maybe it's just admitting the truth, that I stopped feeling, and I don't want to live like that anymore. So tonight, I'm not asking God to take all the pain away. I'm asking Him for something smaller. To let me feel again, even if it hurts, even if it breaks me open. Because I'd rather feel pain than live empty. Numbness isn't living, and I think I'm ready to live again. Until the next page, it's Grace.